Hey, welcome back to Eyes on Carnivore. Today, Jimmy's taking me to the butcher. We're going to pick up a surprise. I'll tell you a bit about that later. Okay, so we're here at Morpeth Butchery. I'm here to pick up the feast for 50 people or so we're catering for this weekend. Full carnivore feast. People from church and friends and family, and we're going to have the carnivore feast. We're picking that up now, and hopefully I'm going to get my friend Chris, who's a butcher here, to serve us. But if not, we'll get someone else. This butcher's owned by the farmer, so even better knowing full well that what their produce is just gold standard, number one. I'm a very lucky person, so I'm just waiting to be served. And you're a carnivore?
Yes, 100%.
Excellent, mate. Excellent. Now I want to pick up my order.
Excellent.
Thank you. That's great. So just back from shopping, been to the butcher, and I've got 100 rashers of bacon, and I've got 100 carnivore sausages. These are freshly made there with liver and heart. I've got chicken, 50 chicken breasts, I think, and here we've got lamb, and I've got 50 pieces of lamb, and we've got 50 pieces of beef that have been tenderized, and 10 dozen eggs, farm fresh pastured eggs. This is from my butchery, Morpeth Butchery in Morpeth, New South Wales. As the guy said, grass-fed, antibiotic-free.
Antibiotic-free.
And always will be, according to the owner of the butchery, Dave, who's also the farmer. Lucky me. So we're going to put this stuff away and we'll get it out again on Sunday. Over the weekend, yes, I had a great weekend. I actually hosted a carnivore event for the people at church. It was something I've been planning for a little while, and we decided to do it this past weekend. It was really fun, actually. I wanted to do this because not everybody knew my story. I mean, I've been telling people what's going on with my eyesight, but I don't think I've filled in all the blanks with what I'm doing. So I wanted to highlight my diet as the reason for, or part of the reason, of course, for my vision improvements, and just tell them my story. I feel as though telling my story will help people to understand that this is something that they could do for themselves. Yeah, so I'm not particularly religious. In my adult life, I haven't gone to church. As a young boy, we did go to church. It was a Methodist church. We stopped going for some reason, and I'm not too sure why. And later on, the Methodist church did combine with the Uniting Church of Australia. So I'm essentially from a religion that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, so I think I started going as a result of my eyesight getting better. Initially, I was going there with a good friend who I thought we might have some future together. And then I just kept on going for other reasons. I think kind of to give thanks to the whole universe, if you like, for what's going on with me, and in the learning that I really think I've been missing out on for many years. I've never actually read the Bible. I've learned a little bit over the years, like many people, the story of the Noah's Ark and Adam and Eve and so forth. So I'm what's called autodidactic, which means that I self-learn, self and didactic learning. So I've taught myself how to read and write, and I didn't pay attention very well in school, but later in life I learned how to write music and write computer software. So being autodidactic, if I'm wanting to learn something, I'll really want to jump into it and learn as much as I can for myself, rather than being taught in a formal school type setting, a formal training setting, which is kind of ironic because I am a qualified teacher. I taught computer software programming in my professional career, and not so much in schools and in university TAFE courses, for instance, but it was a skill that I picked up, and I probably should do a little bit more with it because I do have some ability to talk and impart my knowledge as a teacher. What have I learnt from my visits to church? I think to be humble, to love myself, to love the people around me and appreciate what I have now, and appreciate the people around me. It's something that I've missed out on. Working as a senior person in my job roles, or a manager, or in fact the boss when I was running my own company. So it's very easy to be very self-assured of your own judgment. But your opinion, your intellect, that changes over time, and it's something that I like learning. I love learning, and imparting that knowledge to other people is something that I feel it's something I should do. The crowd at church just absolutely loved what I was doing. They loved the food that I provided. I think we're probably going to have put it up on the screen already. The food was obviously a carnivore meal, and some of the ladies did knock up a bit of salad, but that was obviously optional. And it was really well received. I got some hugs, I got some thanks, and I did a bit of a speech.
Say something.
I told people about why, my reason for starting this diet, how I came across it, and some things that occurred that maybe have some religious, or if you like, spiritual connotations even. When I first started going to church, something that really captured me was this massive stained glass window. And initially it was very mosaic-like. It was very fragmented. I couldn't see it very well. But over time I realised there was people in this stained glass window, and there was words underneath some of the panels. And to start off with, I couldn't quite make the words out, and over time I could. The first one I saw was Mark, then the word Luke, and I thought there was another word that said Trinity, but it turned out to be the words, by thine agony. Now, the whole thing is just amazing, because each week I come and I see a little bit more detail, a little bit more colour, a little bit more gradient in the shading, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I can't explain how enthralled I am looking at this thing on a weekly basis, and how much it's improved over time. So I think the original catalyst for finding this carnivore diet was realistically a message or a thought that I got in the back of my head, specifically walking through a doorway, and this message came across, and the message says arthritis is caused by inflammation, and inflammation is caused by sugar. Now, I have no clue where this information come from. I generally, at that time, I was researching physics, astrophysics. I was very interested in things like black holes. So this dietary advice came from somewhere, and I just went with it. I started researching anti-inflammatory type diets, and within a week, I started the diet, and thank God for that, because everything's come together, everything's improved. The second thing that that happened was, again, standing in a doorway, looking out into my backyard, and I just had a thought, I don't know where it came from, again, that this is the Garden of Eden. I'm looking at the Garden of Eden, I'm standing in it, looking at it in my backyard, and all the hairs on my legs stood up, and I got this sort of overwhelming feeling. And again, I have no clue where this thought came from. It was at the start of this year, prior to going to church, and perhaps the catalyst for going and giving thanks to the higher power. The third thing that happened to me, which may be a coincidence, probably is a coincidence, I'm going to have to put it down as a coincidence, is I saw a light coming out of the cross in church, and at the base of the cross, underneath Jesus' feet, as he was being crucified, there was a small golden light that stayed on the cross, and there was another light, a whiter light, that came out of it and shot off to the left. And I realized, just where I was looking at and what I was thinking was just nothing particular. And then, it happened again, and this golden light was on the cross still, perhaps in a bit of a tear-shaped sort of shape. And another white light sort of came out, and if you like, it was in a different shape, maybe a bit of a yin-yang type shape, and then it also zoomed off to the left out of my view. And at this point, I'm straining my eyes trying to go, what the heck is that? And it happened the third time, not quite as much. The yellow light had faded, and this light again just zoomed off to the left. Now, I will have to say, it was quite an interesting thing to happen, and wow, the feeling that I had after that was just amazing. I couldn't stop myself from smiling, even though at the back of my mind, this is just an eye floater that's changed and done something different from the normal ones. If I could just explain it, an eye floater is a piece of debris, a piece of collagen that's broken away from the wall of the eye, and it's floating around in the vitreous, and it can seem like a white light. It's also been reported as purple or pink, and it sort of arcs, in an arc, so you can see my hand sort of arcing and reasonably slow. But what I saw this time was, I guess the arcing's more like this, but this time it was more of a bundle of light, and then it zoomed off. It literally, it took off really quickly. So those three things have occurred to me that make me question a little bit, and my autodidactic nature wants to figure this stuff out, and I think I'd like to learn more. Would I do it again? Yes, most definitely. And in fact, if I was going to do it again, I'd probably buy less food. There was a lot left over. It was, lucky for my next door neighbours, a young couple with a couple of young children, so they got a good amount of the beef, liver and heart sausages, as well as a good amount of the chicken, in fact probably half the chicken, of which was donated by the butcher shop, because I use the butcher so much. I do spend a lot of money there, so they gave us some free chook, and I'll definitely do it again. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me, are you a carnivore that has also seen the light?